Having dementia at Christmas is tough. It can highlight what things have changed during the year. It can bring up worries for the future. But there are ways to make it as enjoyable and celebratory as it possibly can be. So I put together this short guideline for family carers, friends, and care staff to have to think about. And there are just a few pointers in here, and maybe things to avoid. So here is the first slide of my presentation. Supporting well-being at Christmas. Supporting engagement, connection and joyfulness can enhance well-being at Christmas and throughout the festive period. So it's important to focus on feelings associated with Christmas. Christmas is past, Christmas present, and Christmas future. And for care staff, it's important to be sensitive to personal histories, as some people may have had difficult childhoods, others may have experienced significant and recent losses, and many will feel anxious about the future. Really important to note that long-term memory, especially musical memory, is often better preserved in people living with dementia whose short-term memory can be severely affected. So prioritise reminiscence activities using familiar media, memories and previously enjoyed materials. And make festive moments as multisensory as possible. Photos to look at, especially personal ones. Films to watch, especially those that you've previously enjoyed, and sing-alongs are great. And well-known Christmas music, and YouTube obviously has a lot to offer in that respect. And then food and drink to share. Involve people in simple making tasks wherever possible. As we've discussed previously on my channel, it's really important to gather together personal mementos and photographs so that they can be pulled out at any opportunity to be a focus for enjoyable reminiscence. And if you're a member of care staff, you can do this with the person with dementia's care partner, their relatives or friends. And you can note down underneath the photos who the people are in them and what the photograph means to that person. So the next slide is festive activities for supporting well-being. So engage people in Christmas decorating, hanging ornaments, decorating a tree or a room. We'll come back to this later on. Baking simple treats, such as decorating gingerbread men or making cupcakes. Reminiscing with photographs and sharing memories. Watching classic movies, especially those which are held within long-term memory. And listening to Christmas music, singing favourite carols and classic Christmas hits. Crafting holiday cards, making cards to send to people or to display around the house. And sensory experiences such as festive scents, cinnamon sticks, pines, tactile objects like a scarf or gloves. A Christmas tree is great in this respect because obviously it has its own natural scent. Admiring Christmas lights, safely viewing outdoor displays or indoor lights, and concluding with shared refreshments, Christmas punch, festive biscuits, chocolates. Make sure you check out dietary requirements. And giving simple seasonal gifts. That can be lovely. We all like to have something to unwrap. Having a festive sing-along can be a really good idea. That could just be the family, or it could be a group of people from within a care setting coming together to celebrate as one. Here's a picture of a person enjoying decorating the Christmas tree with their loved one. And that can be a really rewarding and pleasurable experience, especially because once you've done it, it's there to look at. And that sense of achievement, knowing that you've put that together, can be really rewarding. Here's another activity, as I said before, crafting, making cards, using stickers to decorate them, involving others, especially grandchildren. That can be a really lovely thing. Or a volunteer in a care home might be able to help you out. It's nice to have a product that you've made to put onto display. Again, that sense of achievement is really important. Slide 3 is a bit of a cautionary note. Just don't overdo it, really. Be careful not to flood the person with dementia with too many songs, TV, movies, discussions, or making tasks. There is the possibility of overstimulation and the provocation of, oh, for goodness sake, feelings. So work at the person with dementia's pace and observe for continued engagement and enjoyment, or on the other hand, signs of flagging and disconnection. Too much noise and overcrowding can also be very difficult for the person with dementia, or any of us for that matter, to cope with. So maybe avoid shopping malls, pubs, parties. But having said that, this will depend on the kind of person they are and whether they're more outgoing and gregarious or, like me, more introverted. Avoid pressuring the person into doing anything that they don't feel like doing. So give 1 or 2 options and allow for their choice. A cautionary note, flashing Christmas lights can unknowingly cause agitation. And another PS, if the person needs to have time out to calm down and reflect, then Classic FM pretty much runs Christmas carols continuously throughout the festive period. So that can be a lovely chill out zone. But if you need something even more calming, there's also the Classic FM Calm channel, which is pretty much brand new. And that can really help you settle or even sleep. So here's our person with dementia, Mary, enjoying some time out and just chilling for a while. Something we all need and like to do. And that's good. That's okay. It's important to have those times to ourselves. So here are some more specific activity suggestions. We've talked about making Christmas cards and decorations, but simple paper chains and twisting crepe paper into streamers are easy but very fulfilling making tasks, and obviously hark back to our childhood. And the important thing here is you can put them instantly on display after you've made them, which can be really gratifying. You can buy a Christmas cake which is ready-made, and buy ready-made icing, marzipan, apricot jam, and together you can decorate a Christmas cake and buy some of the actual decorations to put on top. You can also buy pre-made gingerbread men or a house, and you can decorate that and build it, and that can be, again, very rewarding. And being able to eat the things you've just made is another aspect of multi-sensory enjoyment. You could slice oranges and mix spices and other ingredients to make a mulled wine. Perhaps alcohol-free wine might be better, but that can be a lovely warming drink and very celebratory and reminiscent of Christmas time. You could go to a local Christmas carol service, or you could watch one on TV, and I've put one available on my blog with all of the lyrics there and all of the best, most famous carols to link up with. Watching favourite Christmas and other movies, preferably some with music to help break up the concentration needed to follow the story, can be really good to have on hand for a lull in proceedings, or again for a chill out time. But also they can be very enlivening and lovely, especially if they're movies that you previously have loved. And the last point is about Christmas songs. It can be really good to put together a playlist, perhaps on Spotify, of all of your favourite Christmas songs and carols to link into. You can also do this on YouTube, actually, so to have a video playlist. And again, that's readily available for when the person with dementia wants to have an enjoyable moment. So here's a picture of Mary enjoying the movie It's a Wonderful Life with some refreshments in front of her, having a hot chocolate with some marshmallows on top. And YouTube now offers a free version of It's a Wonderful Life, which is colourised. All of the great movies are there. White Christmas, for example. Take a look. And having some exercise as well is important, so maybe getting up to dance with your son or your husband or partner can be a lovely experience. Check for mobility though, that's really important. So some final messages and practical tips. Keep Christmas simple, familiar and calm. Avoid overstimulation. Focus on engagement, connection and enjoyment rather than perfection. And it's those small, meaningful moments that matter most, that matter far more than, big events. And those little pleasurable experiences can significantly enhance quality of life. And you can also adapt activities to the person's needs, abilities, and choices. And don't forget to back all of this up with emotional reassurance. If the person gets stuck or lost or for whatever reason becomes distressed or distracted. Now here are a few resources just to look at, to let you know about. You can get these crepe paper decorations from Amazon, a nice supply of them. And the idea then is that you unravel it two together and then twist them so the colour changes in the twist, if you know what I mean. I also bought these really nice paper chains. So basically, they're patterned bits of paper, already cut into strips. You just have to tear them off, and with a pre-glued end. So you just have to peel a little tab off and then you can thread them through one another to stick them together. So it's really easy, but it does produce a nice effect. Now I think we got these ingredients from Lidl. So here you go. There's the ready-made Christmas cake, the apricot jam, the marzipan and white fondant icing just to roll out and lay over the top, and then some edible decorations to go on top of that. So a fantastic making activity, nice and easy, but also with a lovely edible treat at the end of it. And here's Mary and John enjoying making their Christmas cake. Now I think we got these sets from Aldi. So there's reindeers, a gingerbread house and gingerbread men, all ready-made, and you just open it up. And then there's a decoration kit in there as well with, the icing and the colouring in little tubes. for you to construct and decorate your gingerbread. And again, that's a lovely activity which has a fantastic product at the end of it. So that sense of achievement is a really nice and important part of the celebrations. And here's my ingredients for a nice mulled wine: nutmeg and cinnamon, some nectarines, nice bottle of red. Warm them, don't boil it, until it's at a nice temperature to drink. And again, that's a nice activity with instant gratification at the end of it. And then that can follow on to a nice discussion about some aspects of reminiscence. Now, I have got a picture of Zen colouring books there. Now, I think colouring books have a really important place in dementia care. Some people think they're childish. But if you buy a Zen colouring book, it feels very adult-like, and it's very zen. You get in the zone, and it can be a very nice, rewarding activity. And I'll also show you a picture now of an app that I use a lot of the time, and you can get it on Android or iOS. You could use it on an iPad, which would be perfect. And it's basically an adult colouring in game. I'll make a little video of it actually to show you. So here's a little video of the finished product. You can save the video and save the photograph, by the way, for display later on. And there are also some useful help and tip guides. So it's well worthwhile. Just a final thought. People have asked me in the past, why bother with all this if the person will forget their here and now experiences? It's a sadly and commonly asked question, and there's a tendency for Christmas and other occasions to be passively observed by the person with dementia rather than being fully included and engaged to the fullest extent that they possibly can be. My argument is that people with more profound short-term memory loss live more in the moment, and we need to make every effort to make those moments as pleasurable as they can be. They may well not be remembered for long or at all, but the feelings of well-being will be longer lasting. An analogy is when you're at home and you've had a fight with your husband or wife over the stupidest of things. Those feelings can be quite long-lasting, and that resentment can be held for hours or even days. Maybe even you'll forget what it was all about in the first place. Now, I think that's a really good analogy of what dementia might be like. So you don't remember the details of what's happened, but those feelings of well-being are really long-lasting. And if we can have more of those moments, they build up into an enhanced quality of life. We all of us deserve the opportunity to enjoy Christmas as fully as possible and have the best quality of life possible, don't we? I truly believe we do. Anyway, that's it for now. God bless us one and all. See you next time.